he was nice.
Ran
He
into
waved Mellis.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Everyone's
welcome.
best friend.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Royal Ramble. We begin this week's episode on kind of a down note. It's been a dark time, a dark week for professional wrestling and some of the veterans thereof. I don't want to be too forlorn, as it were, but I think it's important that we talk a little bit. We're going to talk about the deaths of Brian Christopher. We're going to talk about the passing of Brickhouse Brown. But what I wanted to take a moment to do is talk about Nikolai Volkov and remember him and share some of my memories of Nikolai Volkov. Now, I first saw Nikolai Volkov like most 12-year-old dudes did in the mid-'80s at the WWF. I first saw him when he teamed with the Iron Sheik, and when I first saw them, they were this amazing tag team. As much as I despise the Iron Sheik, obviously because I was a red-blooded, flag-waving Reagan youth type of kid, right?
Really? Were you into Reagan? God, way to screw me. Thank you for all that. Lowering the corporate tax rate down.
I'm sorry. I didn't know any better. He said America, God bless America, and I figured, well, he tear down this wall and all that.
Down that wall.
In any case. Yes, I know. Yeah. So anyway, Nikolai Volkov would come out and he would sing the Russian national anthem, and I would curse the TV the whole time. I would, do my own turning my back to it and whatnot. I mean, I was really sold on Nikolai Volkov being a commie, and he was one of the heels that there was no coolness about it. He didn't have his own fans. That was one thing that seems to be missing from wrestling today. Is like even the bad guys have a lot of fans, right?
I don't have a lot of fans. Most people hate me. And I have like 5.
Not as many people hate you as they hate me. Just remember that, okay?
Well,
more importantly, you could go to a WWF show and everybody would agree that goddamn those two commies, Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. And I watched his titanic struggles with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I watched their amazing matches with Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda, the U.S. Express. And they were Nikolai Volkov, he's easy to forget about, obviously, until he passes, right? But he was easy to forget about, but he was a real staple of the WWF in the 80s and a big part of how not only the WWF was able to rise, but wrestling in general. So to the family and friends of Nikolai Volkov, my condolences and my respects. You guys want to weigh in on that?
Oh, I have nothing. I'm not gonna. There's one thing I don't want to do, and that's be full of shit. So
you didn't follow him. You weren't around.
I didn't do my homework on Nikolai Volkov back in the day, and I respectfully keep my mouth shut because I know nothing about him other than knowing about him.
Fair enough.
I remember Nikolai Volkov singing the Russian national anthem at WrestleMania 3 or 4, I believe. They found him. He was in the shower singing the national anthem. He fought Hulk Hogan, and I know you hate Hulk Hogan. So
absolutely. It was the one time I cheered for the communists, right, when Saturday Night's Main Event when he wrestled Hulk Hogan, and that match went pretty quick.
Now America has come full circle, and we love the Russians again. Not only do we sing the national anthem, we let them
our president loves them so much that...
Well, in WWE, WWE loves Rusev and Lana.
But back then, everybody hated the Soviets, the commies, right? It was a little bit different. We were still in the midst of the Cold War, and oh man, nothing was better than screaming at Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik.
And which is very true. I remember at a young age myself.
Hi, Brian Chansey.
Young age myself, I remember fans jumping over the rails to go after these guys because you had dedicated Americans that were, even though they're put on a show. But these fans, they were like sick with this crap of Nikolai singing the national anthem, and fans were actually jumping over the guardrails to attack Nikolai and Iron Sheik.
Hi, Jessica Sky Landau. I know you're watching. I just got your message.
And Greg Williams, we are going to talk about Brickhouse Brown. I was disappointed they didn't have a tribute picture to him on Monday Night Raw myself. I was kind of disturbed by that.
What were you going to say?
The fans are very dangerous people. I remember a cage match with myself and Guy Cool, and a lot of the Marines didn't like the fact that I was praising Allah, giving all praise be, to the East before my match. So, about 5 or 6 guys tried to attack me, and I was safer in the cage with Guy. The fans are crazy people.
Was that the same one where you took on Lois Grain?
No, you were there. It was me versus Guy.
Cage match 2. Sorry.
Guy Cool bribed everybody with beers and Capri Suns and whatnot because that's what Americans enjoy.
He did the Austin. He did the Austin on the top rope, and then Swanton bombed you.
He did best night of his life, by the way, waving the American flag in the American Legion Hall, and I was just trying to not eat pork and tell my woman what to do.
And serve green soda.
The views and opinions of Azrael are those of Azrael only. They do not reflect the views of Orange County Championship Wrestling, the Royal Ramble, nor the Free Admission Channel.
I think from now on, before we start the podcast, you should put a disclaimer.
Well, there's no guarantee that he's going to say something offensive.
There actually is, right? I have not 100%. Made my money if I have not offended at least 20 of you.
Okay, moving along. All right, there were a few things that went on in the independent scene this weekend, and I wanted to stop and talk for a moment about the show Darklight Promotions put on. This was at what was the name of the
Bar Sinister?
Bar Sinister, which is famous for its
performance art.
Should we say erotica? Is that fair to say?
If you're a fan of the BDSM community, you're aware of the building.
Okay, well,
which I am, by the way. I have been over the last 10 years on numerous occasions on Cherokee Avenue. You go into Purgatory, they have the thing. I would have went. I missed the wrestling show. I was very disappointed. It's a small building, but by God, it has character and a lot of memories for yours truly.
Tom Dupree, what do you mean by T-shirt? I don't understand. I still want that T-shirt. I don't understand.
Okay, Mikey is reading the comments. Okay, now what happened here? Let's Mikey we'll go over the details of what happened as far as the ring and the controversy that took place there. This is Mikey O'Shea.
Well, I knew the thing is, I knew nothing about what was going on until Facebook exploded Sunday night. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to.
You can name names.
So, some promoters that run a good business out of state, they realize some of their boys are wrestling in this promotion, Dark Productions, and whoever promoted that show did not realize that the ring that they rented, I don't know which ring they rented, but that ring can't fit inside the bar because it was not big enough to put a ring inside there.
The bar wasn't big enough to fit the ring.
So instead of canceling the show, and which would suck for all those people that came from Vegas, they decided to keep it going, and they put mats down on the ground and decided to have a different style of wrestling.
Fair enough, right.
Now, a lot of people are having problems with this, but to me, honestly, I don't have a problem with it because, perfect example, I don't know how many shows they've done, but recently there was this other promotion which technically isn't really a wrestling promotion. They have 2 matches every time they do these shows at a bar. They don't even have a wrestling ring. They pretty much just do a backstage brawl skit with these shows where they have two or 3 matches where these wrestlers just wrestle all over the bar on concrete floor or like the countertop.
Yeah.
So me personally, I never had a problem with it. The promoter still paid the wrestlers.
Fair enough.
They still kept their commitments. Me, honestly, I never had a problem with it.
Danny, what do you think?
Azrael. I have been in many bar fights in many different establishments. Nobody ever put any mats down for me. Very inconsiderate of every place that I've ever been to in a bar fight and been thrown out of. A lot of people, different sides of this question. Some people say the wrestler should have left. Some people believe in the adapt and overcome. I've seen blood sports. I will fight you in an empty swimming pool or a rain of cars.
That was Lionheart. Bloodsport was the Kumite when they had
the... I forgot. You're the Van Damme scholar of movies, you know what
I mean?
I will fight you in a phone booth for free because I'm crazy like that. And I will fight Mikey O'Shea anywhere at any time, in any cage, back alley, Laser Quest house, whatever. I don't care. Miniature golf course.
I thought he was your best friend.
All-you-can-eat buffet?
Dude, yes.
We will fight forever.
Dude, I will gladly beat the crap out of you at the Camelot Miniature Golf Course.
Camelot.
I am the Sami Zayn, Dior Kevin Owens. I am clearly the thin, athletic gentleman, and you are, Kevin Owens.
Well, let me weigh in a little bit, okay? Here's the thing, all right? Darklight Promotions promoted a pro wrestling show in their venue, so it's probably going to have a kind of a dark bend to it, right?
Was it fair
to say?
They have a clothing line already, which is interesting, and they say the best dives are suicidal, and there's a guy jumping out of the ring, and you can buy that T-shirt. So I was very interested. You do not know how tickled my fancy was.
I have some idea. I've seen some of your stuff. Here's the thing. the ring didn't fit. Someone didn't give someone the right information. Something didn't go right. Someone miscalculated. Someone doesn't have a ruler.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yes. They made the best of a bad situation. So for those of you at Darklight who said, okay, hey, look, fellas, you can leave if you want. We're going to try to put the show on. You know, my hat is off to you, right? You did not send anyone home without money. You did not have to send a whole crowd who wanted to see some vestige of wrestling, that night. They bought tickets. And I'm sure, I've talked to a few people that were actually at this. So no one complained. They said, yeah, it was different. Was that?
It was a great show.
Okay, it was a great show. And in this day and age of death matches and exploding light bulbs and barbed wire and table spots, there's very little wrestling in a lot of shows.
I will gladly wrestle on concrete floor than ever go through thumbtacks.
There you go,
barbed
exactly.
wire,
so
fiery tables.
To the promoters of Darklight, my hat is off to you. I have a ton of respect for you.
Now,
for the wrestlers who stayed on, right? You have my undying respect as well because you made the best of a bad situation and you didn't just tuck tail and run because it wasn't perfect. You are an independent wrestler in Southern California. You are not wrestling in Connecticut. You are not wrestling in Atlanta. You are not wrestling in Orlando or Tokyo. All right, you are doing the best you can here in probably the hardest place to make a living in pro wrestling.
These streets are hard.
Yes, they're hard.
Streets, especially in Orange County. Orange County is the hardest streets.
So, for those of you who stuck it out, my hat's off to you. Congratulations. I respect you. Most of you, anyway. Anyone not named John Allen. Secondly.
John wasn't?
Right? Oh, he wasn't?
No.
Okay. Secondly, right, those of you who are putting down people who made the best of a bad situation. Those of you who are putting down people who did the best they could under poor circumstances. The fuck's the matter with you? And that's all I got to say.
The views and opinions of Jonathan Malice are not necessarily the views and opinions of people who wish to be gainfully employed in professional wrestling, like your good friend Azrael and Mikey O'Shea. So to FSW and Joe DeFalco, your friend Azrael and Mikey O'Shea gladly support your contrarian viewpoint to the other that we also presented. Wait. Equally.
So Joe DeFalco of
I am for both
Future
things.
Stars of Wrestling said it was a bad thing? What did he say? How did he denounce it?
People should leave and not wrestle when there's not a ring.
Okay, but Dutch Mantel has a story about how when they were on tour in the Midwest, they had to wrestle on mats. Ric Flair talks about how they were at a show and the ring didn't show up, so they just kind of cobbled together a set. All those old wrestlers had to do something like that.
I wrestled on mats.
Yeah.
I'd rather wrestle on those mats than wrestle in a boxing ring any day.
Well, fair enough. And I mean, it's like I said, you make the best of a bad situation. It's like, you go to the circus and the elephant didn't show up, so should all the clowns go home? I'm sorry.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, real quick, guys, big shout out to Havoc, Pinky. We got Robert, Dan. We got also Lyric Hinojosa, Mindy Hinojosa.
Pinky?
Yeah, Pinky's actually watching us right now.
Pinky Santino?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Pinky's on board. We also got Carlos Mencias, Austin Largo.
I keep
of course,
thinking
once again,
Carlos
Mindy
Mencia.
Hinojosa. Much love to you, baby. That's my wife. And don't forget, hey, John, you want to mention about my little plug-in real quick for,
Tomorrow night on Gym Crashers, our Royal Ramble's own Joey the Bull Hinojosa will be a special guest, and he's going to tell his story and his experience in the world of boxing, kickboxing, and martial arts. 8 o'clock here on the free admission.
Joey Bull is a hard man. Joey Bull is hard all the time. Joey Bull is from the mean streets. You might not see it because of his tummy, but he's hard. He's hard right now.
So I want to wish you the best of luck on your segment, and ask all of you tune in tomorrow night to Gym Crashers here on the free admission channel, and give Joey a shout out.
And I love all comments, bad or good. I'll read them all. I don't care. I love it. You talk shit on me, I love it. It makes things a lot better. You know what I mean?
Okay, I have a question. Okay, moving right along. So I want to hear you guys' opinion. Those of you know Darklight. Okay, here's the question to my friends and family out there watching in Royal Ramble land. What do you think of them going on with the show? The show must go on, etc. Do you think they should have canceled it because they didn't have a ring that would fit? Or do you think it was a good idea for them to continue with the show? All right? Let me know. Make your comments known. I have a question. This one comes from Alexander Cars. He wants to know if we'll ever see Brock Lesnar after he finally loses the Universal Championship.
Yes.
Let me read that.
At the next Darklight show. Lesnar versus
Finally loses.
Pinky Santino.
Okay. Pinky Santino is a hell of a worker, by the way.
He is good.
And a hell
we
of a
haven't seen
guy.
him for a long time. Why do you hate Pinky?
I don't hate Pinky. He's one of those few guys from that I like. He's a cool guy.
Last time we saw him at OCCW, he saved King Favi from Tony Ray. Was it you? Yeah, you faced him.
What? I didn't wrestle Pinky.
No,
No.
it was Tony Ray. Sorry, it was Tony
Yeah.
Ray's.
Yeah.
He
No.
wrestled Angel last.
Pinky is a joy to have on your show. So if anyone out there's watching, thinking about putting Pinky on your show, put Pinky on your show. Every time I ask Pinky, he's always booked. So I guess he's not having any trouble, getting booked.
No,
So-
that guy
but Pinky,
That guy goes all over the place. He wrestles
Yeah,
here
he's a good
locally.
dude.
He goes to Vegas. He goes to Arizona. He even sometimes goes to New Mexico, and he drives all the way there. So
okay, I have another question for you. All right. What kind of impact on wrestling will the all women's pay-per-view have on what was I saying? What kind of impact will the all women's pay-per-view have on wrestling?
None. Nothing
Yeah.
will change.
I agree.
They were all on the roster before. They're all going to be on the roster after. It's a special that they're having on their own network.
it's on the network. They're not going to lose any money. I think it's a great idea to give it a shot because if they still kept on doing regular WWE pay-per-view buy rates, they probably would have never had the guts to do it.
Fair enough.
But because they have the network, and last time I checked, this was like a year ago. Last time I checked, it was like $1.6 million, $10 times 1.6 million
Every month.
Every month. They're making bank no matter what.
And then
It's
they
the
have
most money they've
advertisers
ever
as
made.
well. Yeah, they have advertisers as well, right?
and a TV deal with Fox coming.
Yeah, $1 billion
They're gonna put-
deal.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, maybe they
It's
can
billion with a B.
maybe they can finally cover health insurance with that money.
That's not
Seems
going to
like
happen.
Vince's territory is doing good.
Vince's territory? The planet Earth?
Everybody's
I just can't
saying
believe
that,
Fox has that kind of money to give away.
I do.
Are you kidding? Fox has everything.
Are they getting
They
bought
have
by
the
Disney?
NFL, don't they?
They're getting bought by Disney.
Fox is? Great.
Mickey Mouse owns everything and can now afford to pay the workers $15 an hour at Disneyland.
All right.
The thing is, I know they're going to probably still do a regular pay-per-view in October, but this is going to be like another special pay-per-view. I think kind of to make up for the greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view when they couldn't allow any women to wrestle.
Okay, that's.
You think that?
You want me to go back
you
onto
think,
that?
You think that's them kind of making up for all the women that couldn't wrestle on that show?
Well, if they said, "Hey, this is us making up for what happened," then yeah, I think that'd be great. But because they're not, because they won't admit the fact that they got on their knees for the Sheik and the other Sheik, right? I'm sorry, we're from the United States. We don't get on our knees, all right, for other rulers, right? That's how this place. That's why this place was built.
I'm not going to get into politics, but I'm just going to simply say
That's not politics. That's
I-
fundamental.
No, I'm just going to say I wish I could simply believe that.
The
Hi,
male
Nora-
wrestlers
hi,
should
Nora
sue
Ortega.
for their place on this pay-per-view. It is a sexist statement of power by Stephanie McMahon.
Before we go on
Fair
with
enough.
this, I might as well mention it right now since before I forget. Azrael, are you wrestling anywhere this weekend?
Mikey O'Shea, this weekend, I don't know, do you want to give me a ride anywhere?
I think
I told you, me and you could beat any two combinations of any of these
I'm
other
talking.
guys.
I'm talking about this Friday. You got a match.
Friday, Burning World Productions.
Yes.
The Big Homie Double on Hooper Avenue in Los
If
Angeles.
we can get the engineer to put the background
Angeles.
on the green screen, Burning World Productions is making their return finally after a long absence in Southern California. They rented out this warehouse a couple of months ago, and they were planning on doing shows back in June, but unfortunately it got postponed because I think the owners of the warehouse were not very pleased about wrestling. But finally, we're going to give it a shot this Friday, supposedly.
Supposedly.
It's the first picture right there, sir.
Hey, don't put that picture up. Not with that guy on it. I'm just kidding. Put it up. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Put it up.
Shut
Why
up.
do you hate Sean Black?
Put it-
Why do I hate Sean Black?
Oh, come on.
Why? What did he ever do to you?
Step away, John.
What do you ever
Nothing.
do?
Absolutely nothing. I have nothing but I got nothing but love, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, I got nothing but
Burning
love.
World Productions will be making their return this Friday at Los Angeles.
Wait a minute.
They have a huge warehouse. It's pretty much the size of a Home Depot. That's how big it is.
No kidding.
And I think they have a six-sided ring in that place. So I'm looking forward to wrestling in the six-sided ring.
Robert, you can put it up.
twice
I'm just kidding.
This weekend. Yes, I'll be taking on Gusten Uberstud, a.k.a. Todd the Cheeseburger.
Todd the
Hey,
Cheeseburger.
put the
And
whole
as-
flyer.
and
I'm
as-
on this one.
And I think that's
Move,
how,
John.
Oh, I'm
Damn
sorry.
it. God
Oh,
damn
hang
it,
on,
Taylor.
hang on.
Move out of the way.
I will be trying to bite you. He's trying to bite
There
you.
we go.
Hold on.
Look.
There he is.
I'm on the flyer. Look. You can't see it, but I'm on the flyer.
It's this Friday, $10 or $15 general admission at the door. The address is right there. You're going to see a bunch of talented wrestlers, myself Azrael,
Not me.
Sean Black, Freddie Flores, Simon Lotto, another one of John's best friends, Angel Atu,
Oh God!
and then Ruben Iglesias, and then yes, it's gonna be a good show.
What's it
So
called? What's the name of the show?
it's Burning World Productions.
Burning World is right.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Now, the day after that, I apologize for the posters. They're kind of cut off. I do apologize. But the next one we're gonna have the debut of Destination 6. They're gonna work together with Amped Up Wrestling at Saturday at Barstow, California. I'm looking forward to this one because, unfortunately, out of respect for a lost comrade in professional wrestling,
Uday Ujeka, how are you?
out of respect for a long lost comrade,
Ukleja? How do you say it?
I have no idea.
Uday.
Shit, damn it, come on. Wake up, Mike.
Okay, what are you talking about?
Virgil. We lost a comrade from Northern California. His name was Virgil. He died at 33 years old. We're not sure how he died yet, but he was loved by many wrestlers. So a lot of wrestlers on the Destination show was supposed to happen. They had to back out to do a tribute show to
Tell me about Virgil again.
not Virgil, Flint. I think it's
It's Virgil.
It's Virgil. Yeah, I'm having a brain fart.
I believe it's Virgil in the third.
I never got to know the guy personally, but
And
I
who-
have watched Hood Slam a couple of times in the past, and he was a phenomenal wrestler when I saw him. Never got to really know him, but they're going to do a tribute show back in Northern California for him. So a lot of wrestlers had to back out of Destination 6. So, new match for me. I'm teaming up with Sean Black. The Juggernauts are going to be taking on A.K. Rambe. I'm not
Nice.
sure if it's the main event, but I'm looking forward
It
to that
should
match
be.
as well.
Demand that it is. You do not go on unless it is main.
I'm
Mikey
really- I'm
O'Shea
really
is
ex-
semi-main or nothing.
I'm really excited. Shut up. I'm really excited for D6W because this store is about to open up. It's a wrestling store / arcade place / bar / wrestling show.
Is it the one out in the middle of the Barstow?
Yeah.
Barstow?
And the only thing I care about in Barstow, Virgil Flint. Thank you very much, Tom. I do apologize. I was getting all distracted here. The only thing I care about in Barstow back in the day was Del Taco because it was the original Del Taco. But now we have a wrestling show in Barstow. So, yes, it's an out of place, but there's not that much to do at Barstow. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have a good crowd because there's not much to do out there.
Now, John,
Yeah.
not to throw thing off subject, but if you had a tribute show, what would you like that to be?
What?
If you had a tribute show for yourself, what would you like that to be? And held? Or anybody show
Tribute
up?
show? Nah, man, look.
Surf Dogs.
If
Surf
I,
Dogs. We'll do a show at Surf Dogs for
if
you.
I die,
Ruben
right,
Iglesias versus Seville Alvarez.
in an if I
you
die
die.
in an untimely fashion, i.e., younger than I should, right? Which is getting to be out of the question at this point.
Stressing yourself
But-
out a lot.
Right? Where would I want my show to be? The same place where most of my parties have been.
Your room?
It's Tube Sock.
No, in your tube sock. No, you know what? Frankly, I don't want a tribute when I go because I would rather have people curse me than tell a bunch of lies about what a great guy I was. When in reality, everybody knows that John is bad to people. He's disrespectful. He's sexist. He's cheap. What else?
You hate Sean Black.
Well, yeah, but that's
Views and opinions of Jonathan Malice have nothing to do with Mikey O'Shea.
On your tombstone, I'll say $20 and a meatball sandwich.
yeah. Well,
Okay, that's
but
a
have you seen Sean Black? He's had more than one meatball
Oh,
sandwich in his day.
Jesus Christ.
Should professional wrestlers promote the shows upon which they appear?
Yeah. Otherwise, they don't. I mean, especially in the smaller.
You're
know,
very demanding,
markets.
Taskmaster. Just go ahead and whip my back and make me talk on my camera, make me say words in order.
Danny has a new sponsor, as you can see, right?
Coca-Cola. Sorry, I got one at the taco truck.
So no, I
Making
don't
me
know.
work
I don't
to be
know.
on the show. What kind of
You know what would be
asshole are you?
cool? I'll tell you what would be cool: to have a tribute show or a wrestling show, period, at a working drive-in movie theater. I think that would be pretty cool. If we could set up the ring during the day. Boom, we do the wrestling show when the lights go down, when the sun sets. You can watch your movie.
I don't want teenagers having sex in their car while I'm wrestling. You know what I mean? That's more than awkward,
They're pounding the ring and they're pounding the car.
right?
In any case, I think that's a good idea. So, hey, those of you out in was it Industry that has a drive-in, or those of you out in Riverside at the
Riverside,
the
yeah.
Van Buren drive-in,
Van Buren, yeah.
hey, call me. I'm going to try to get a hold of you because I think that's a brilliant idea that I just had this very second. So
Lost my
we're going to try to do a
virginity
show there.
to
Joe the Bull, I think Bully Zone's trying to call you out.
Okay, cool. Okay, what's it? No, they're not coming on right now. Okay, so, where were we? Okay, local news. We talked about that. Okay, Danny, you posed an interesting. I'm sorry.
I have no.
Azrael, the man formerly known as Danny, the man formerly known as Danny Azrael, now in everlasting life. What can you posted a topic? You had a very interesting question, Mikey. You remember? Did you hear him ask? He was saying, "Is pro wrestling a martial art?"
You consider it a martial art. You're a martial art teacher.
I am absolutely a martial art.
When you
teacher.
asked me that question earlier, it took me a while to analyze it in my head. And you know what? Zangief from Street Fighter, and that character Bass from Dead or Alive. All were martial arts fighting games. I truly believe wrestling can be a martial art.
See, martial, meaning to fight, a contest with fists and feet between two people, and art, the artistic expression of emotion, then yes, pro wrestling is the most competitive martial art ever. People talk about Aikido, people talk about Judo. You see Aikido, you flip the guy over, the guy's taking a bump, right? Is the guy not taking a bump? You've seen Aikido.
Yes.
Well, the reason why they're taking that bump is so that their wrists don't.
So you don't break your wrist.
Oh, yeah.
If I don't take the fall, I break my goddamn hand off.
Brian, thank you very much. Virtual Fighter with Wolf, in Tekken with the luchadors.
That was
King. You ever
Virtual
play
Fighter was good.
You ever play Tekken?
Yeah.
The luchador King.
No, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Would I hurricane
So
Rana
because it's
someone
on a
in a
video
street
game
fight?
makes it so? See, this is.
I say
this is
it's-
a sad statement on our times.
How's that a sad
if
statement?
If it's in a video game, it must be legit.
Hey,
Mikey,
video
you know
games
what?
can teach you a lot.
There's no such thing as zombies unless you count.
Mario
tweakers.
Golf taught me how to play golf.
So why don't you teach the Hurricane Rana in your jiu-jitsu class?
I never done it before.
No,
Jiu-jitsu
you
class? No, you don't teach a jiu-jitsu class. You teach a jiu-jitsu class.
Because
at the De La O Jiu-Jitsu School on 8381 Catella Avenue.
Unit J open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, Saturday and Sunday.
Don't forget the wrestling classes. Wrestling classes.
Pro wrestling taught by this man.
If you guys are looking for some entertainment when it comes to martial arts, choreographed martial arts, look up WMEC Masters on YouTube.
Oh, those were terrible.
Those were
No,
great.
come on,
Live
man.
action
No, no, no.
Street
They had
Fighter.
tell you what-
storylines.
No,
They had
no.
shit going on. The cowboy
look-
versus the Indian.
You look up some old late 80s, early 90s UWFI. That's out of Japan, right? It's called UWFI. Guys like Dick Bridge and all that were in there. You check that out. That
Sweet Jesus, the old
Speaks-
heavyweight karate fighting?
you-
Like those on NBC?
not quite. No, you have to see. Look it up.
Benny the Jet?
UWFI out of Japan, right? And that'll answer. I think that'll answer your question, and I think it will further blur the line. In my opinion, no, absolutely not. Professional wrestling is not a martial art. Thank you.
No, it's an artistic expression involving fighting.
Well, okay, but a martial art, as is by definition, is a fighting style.
No, it's
A
not.
fight. Yes, it is.
Is wushu a martial art? I don't fight people
No,
with
it's
wushu.
not. It's a dance.
Well,
right?
they're under the impression that what they do is in the Olympics.
I truly believe
Well,
wrestling.
okay, well,
is-
so is synchronized swimming. Is that a martial art?
No, I'm not trying to fight anybody with synchronized swimming.
Okay, well, you would if you were in the water, though, wouldn't you? If there were,
Have
Okay.
you ever hit a butterfly kick in a bar fight? I have.
No, I've never hit a butterfly kick in the bar.
I truly believe wrestling the style can help you with fights.
Really? Do you also believe that training in a lot of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat will help you in fights? I think you probably do.
Not the fireballs, but yes, the moves that they do that don't require magic.
Well, that's if you're fast enough to grab them.
I threw a Kamehameha at Jimmy Mayhem's stomach.
All I gotta do is
Goddamn
grab
thing.
somebody, and I instantly do the Raging Demon.
You know the problem with people with you millennials, right? Is you can't separate
Hey.
reality from fantasy.
So true.
All right.
So true.
I mean,
I'm a
That's
vampire,
all I can
don't
say.
You dare say that I'm not. I identify as whatever I
Not trying
feel
to
like.
get off topic here, but it's been about almost 30 minutes. We got some guests here.
What do we got?
we do, but you know what? We have 15 minutes left over from last week, so we're good.
Fair enough.
Jeez. I'll be home late, babe.
Okay. Let's
Whoops.
see.
Mike O'Shea can go all night long. Have I ever told you how much I love you, by the way? You're everything I would like
You
to
exposed your
be.
love to me at B-Boy's comment section yesterday. I think I kind
You
of
can
got
fly
it.
high. Brody King versus Mikey O'Shea is good business.
Okay. Now we mentioned earlier when we opened
Hey.
that there were a few deaths in the wrestling world this week. A second death that we were talking about was Brickhouse Brown, the beloved Brickhouse Brown out of Texas. Right now, a lot of you guys, you're younger, so you don't remember him, but I remember him tag teaming with Iceman King Parsons. I remember him in Bill Watts' old UWF. I remember him fighting with Savannah Jack and I think Skandor Akbar, if I'm not mistaken. Do we have a picture of of Brickhouse Brown?
He's looking for one.
He was instrumental in helping Bill Watts' promotion in the mid to mid 80s. And
wasn't Bill Watts the guy that he ran WCW for like a brief moment? And
he did.
Briefly, they all hated him.
And a rule was if you throw somebody off the top rope, you get automatically disqualified.
Well, that was an old rule for a long time. But the thing that really pissed off the wrestlers about Bill Watts was that he had them remove the mats around the ring.
And everybody has to stay in the building until the main event is completed.
Exactly. And, same old.
Go home, Bill.
They got to get on the road to get to the next show. But we're talking about Brickhouse Brown. And he, like I said, he was a tag team partner with Iceman King Parsons. And he had a few matches with the legendary Von Erich family. So as we talk about Brickhouse Brown, I'd like to welcome our guest, Heidi, out of MPW, right?
Hello, Mikey.
And Mikey's future ex-wife.
Here, I'll just sit
Nice.
right
X.
here.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Here, scoot over a little bit, Mike, so you can get in the shot.
You're all together.
No.
That's a lot.
What are you doing?
We
What are
have
you doing?
lots of chairs.
Oh, Mikey. Mikey stuck. Wow.
All right. Mikey's very accommodating today.
Damn.
Nice
Mike.
fire! Oh shit!
Who's smoking?
All right. All right. So this is Brickhouse Brown. Heidi, what can you tell us about Brickhouse Brown? Tell us a little bit of how he lived, how he passed, and what we can learn from it.
Well, I've been doing a whole bunch of bloody research, especially since when we were discussing in the back who would cover who. I ended up getting Brickhouse Brown for me hat. But yeah, I remember. But yeah, looking up all this stuff, he had. What are you doing?
Oh, that's very affectionate of him. Mikey usually doesn't
Aw,
show
the sharing of gifts.
Yes.
Aw, I'm the only one who likes you. Now I am Sami Zayn.
Who wants my shirt?
Oh, John, here.
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
There you go. Oh, thank God.
You might need that later.
Okay, so yeah, apparently he had no training prior to his first match. Apparently he did rather good, but yeah, I remember. But yeah, he defeated Jerry the King. But prior to being the King Lawler, he was the AWA Southern Heavyweight. Let's see,
Wrestling champion.
Wrestling champion. He had a racial feud with Robert Fuller.
Robert Fuller, yeah.
You could get away with that shit back in the day.
Yeah, he got.
Also known as Colonel Rob Parker, right?
Oh yeah.
On WCW.
Yeah.
Why would a white man ever want to fight a black man? Based off of that and alone.
So Azrael, you make your statements about BA and also about Othello. Would you ever give them as part of a feud a watermelon as a gift and then
No, that's a horrible thing to do. I'm not giving presents to
and
nobody.
slap them around with a leather belt?
I actually did do that a lot. I felt kind of bad about that.
Because apparently that happened in their feud. That I'm
that
amazed
did
they got away with that.
Ah,
It
goodness.
was a crazy time.
The views and opinions of Heidi are the views and opinions of
I
Heidi.
wasn't for it.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't for it. I was just saying it was
okay.
kind of crazy that happened.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Yes, but yeah, they had there was like an on and off feud with the Southern Rockers. Basically, kind of rubber banding. They won the titles, they ended up losing it. When AWA pulled out, Jeff Jarrett's promotion came in. He kept going on and on. Eventually, he was brought in as WWF enhancement talent.
He was a jobber. Is that not a good word?
I'd rather not use it.
Oh, you're not
but-
supposed to say
You never
that?
asked that about. You never asked Al Snell's opinion about the jobber term.
Is that a bad term? Oh, ask Othello. I'm not afraid of him. He's not even here. What? Hey!
I would love.
Othello!
I would love.
He's not here.
I would love to have a Damien Demento year-and-a-half job where I just lose to everybody in WWE. I would.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Especially nowadays, because no matter if you have like 0 wins and like 100 losses, and then you get released from WWE, that's a good. You're still good on your resume.
Yes, especially since he only
So
had two.
jobber is politically incorrect now?
No, I just I started
No.
I started off as a jobber, so it's a little
Well, you
sore.
got all upset when I said jobber. You did this.
I backed
You rub
up.
your hands when you get nervous too, by the way.
Okay.
Don't worry, Mikey. I'll keep your hands warm.
What?
Nice. Lick his palms.
But yeah, anyway.
After what the hell's going on?
Looks like a little heat between the two of you.
You look like
Get
you
it? A
breathe
little
fire
heat
like a dragon.
All right, so continue. I'm sorry, we keep interrupting you, my dear.
Her breath actually does smell.
Well, yeah, there was like Mr. Brown. He had only 2 typings, 2 WWF typings.
Right.
One of them was Triple H, and the what?
Triple what?
Triple H.
Triple H?
William
Yes.
Regal says the same thing. Wait.
She's British,
H.
man. They
Oh.
talk different.
Hey, I heard about that. Can you give me your best British
No.
accent?
No.
Okay.
Very offensive.
I hate
All right.
you.
Yes, the last time he did that, I suplexed his coffin.
I see.
Right?
You're lucky I didn't do it with you inside.
Come on in, baby.
Yeah.
You
Make
did
her
what
shit
with him
jealous.
inside?
But yeah, apparently this other one was Henry O. Goldwyn. Are you familiar with him?
Sure. Phineas and Henry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, those were his only 2 typings. So with what I've seen from his entire resume of his championships, this bloke was an unsung hero of wrestling.
Luke.
You kind of a supporting cast type of guy that everyone had a lot of respect for. Now I understand that he had prostate cancer, and there's a little bit of a story behind that.
Oh yeah, yes he did. He was working with WCCW USWA. I can't read me bloody notes for shite, but yeah, he kept going until his diagnosis, and it was early.
Early detection.
Yeah, early detection. You could treat that. It's perfectly treatable.
Yeah.
Sure, his quality of life may not have been back to normal, but at least he would have a decent life afterwards. But he had no medical insurance, and he just treated it with painkillers.
So, because he had no medical insurance, he was forced to just take pain pills and let cancer take its course?
Yes, he tried to bear it, and eventually it took him.
To the family and friends of Brickhouse Brown and to Brickhouse Brown, I am very sorry for your passing.
Mm-hmm.
You have my condolences and my respects, and maybe a little bit of anger towards the fact that in this country, in this day and age, when there are treatments for cancer and people can be saved, to die because you do not have enough money to live is a shame.
Mm-hmm.
It's an outright disgrace. Think about that next time. I'm sorry. That's all I can say.
It's for the best.
What's for the best?
Sometimes you just gotta keep things to yourself.
I thought you meant Brickhouse. Anyway.
That's not what I meant. No, it's for the best that Brickhouse Brown died. No, that's not what I meant.
Okay, well then clarify. I was like, now you choose it. That's one hell of an opinion to finally choose to have. All right. Anything else? You have anything you want to say about Brickhouse Brown?
No, good luck to you, to 3 of you. Like,
Okay, so fair enough. Heidi, tell us, shifting gears. So thank you for the retrospective on Brickhouse Brown. Tell us a little bit about what's going on up there at MPW and how things are going with everyone there.
Oh yes, we're doing quite swimmingly. I talk funny.
No, I love it. Yeah.
quit interrupting
If
people,
you weren't
man.
if you weren't betrothed to Mikey, I would be working my magic.
Charmed. But yeah, we recently had our All-Star show on Friday. Basically, we had Danny Devine up against Tyler Bateman. We had this 4-way tag: PP Ray, Divinity, the new Figgy and the Sweet Fish with Dr. Philgood and the Great Zumba. And the current tag, or at least former current tag champs, No Mercy, with Jason Flame and his protege, Charlie Mercer. PP Ray ended up on top, so we don't know what's going to happen from there, especially...
Are they the new tag team champs?
Oh, yes, they are.
Freddie Havoc, yes, your jacket is here. I see it right here. It says support indie wrestling.
Go on.
But yeah, it's... they're now the current champs, so we don't know what's going to happen, especially since Rey Rosas is still the 51% owner of the company. And, yes. Though, aside from that, I had a match with Miss Ruby Reyes.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Well, okay, I'm going to have to switch to the Evil Tie. Where did the Evil Tie go?
Evil tie. I didn't know ties were capable of being evil.
Well,
Depends on, what they do.
basically,
No,
my
like- not like
morality is
zip ties like
color-coded
you
for your
like to use.
convenience, mate.
I see.
So yeah, this was the tie that I used to garrote Miss Reyes.
You garroted Miss Reyes?
Yes, with my tie.
Wow. So how did that match end?
It's about time you actually face someone that, is equal amount of power as you. Because you normally face little girls. Actually, Hilda's actually pretty powerful.
She is quite powerful. I mean, you did see the rest of the end of the match. She basically threw everything at me. It's what made me respect her at the end and kind of stop the whole stalking business. But,
Sorry.
Stalking business, you just try to sit on my lap.
it's a joke, Mikey. A joke. It's not like I'm creeping into your room and sniffing your hair every night.
I hope you don't, because Jesus Christ, man.
Not every night.
Does it stand straight up like something about Mary?
Bro.
Just asking.
Mikey
By that
O'Shea
time,
always
you-
smells nice.
Yes. Is that hair gel?
But yes, we had my partner Friday and I we ran some interference. We got some nice lovely shots off, but eventually she got wise to the fact I ended up knocking out my own partner, and then she speared me.
Ah. So you almost had her. You just didn't quite
Yes, we
get
did
the happy ending you wanted.
Get it, especially since she's the opportunity ass kicker, and I wanted that bloody title because I fight bloody men down.
Yeah, she beat Louise.
Yeah, she did.
Of
She
the
did.
Tapia people.
Anyway, on to more pleasant.
Heidi, you know what? You know what? Not to interrupt, but I wanted to. Are you free August 25th?
Oh, yes, I do believe so.
We
Mr.
have a
Mattis.
gentleman by the name of Gusten Uberstud who, I shouldn't say this because he told me in confidentiality. Should I tell her? We'll
Yes.
discuss this.
Usually you lie to women, though.
Well,
You're gonna tell her
okay.
the truth.
Just don't treat me like a woman. Just treat me like a man with a small penis.
Like
There
I
you
took
go.
Mike-
Exactly.
Okay.
Like-
All right, well, then I'll be honest with you, just like I'm honest with Mikey O'Shea. He says that girl Heidi has no business getting in the ring. That's all I'm saying. Gusten Uberstud, he's from a different place, a different part of the world.
I never said that.
Not
Gusten
you.
Uberstud
Gusten
said
Uberstud
that.
said that.
Because he's,
Oh, you heard the term little
Uber.
penis and you. Okay, so we thought we were talking about you? Anyway, no. So, Heidi, I just wanted to let you know, Gusten Uberstud will be at Next Level, August 25th, here at the Next Level Sports Complex. And, yeah.
Very intriguing. He says I have no business in the ring.
Something to that effect.
So when you get there that day, make sure you're hungry for cheeseburgers.
Oh, I usually don't like cheeseburgers, but I think I'll make an exception. Originally, I was going to help my sweet dreams against Daniel Moon, but I think I'm hungry for more.
So, Gusten Uberstud, if you would. Your hair's on fire.
Your hair's on fire. Your hair's on fire. Your hair's
There
no
you go.
longer
See,
on
very
fire.
Put
good.
it out. Attaboy. You're a gentleman.
Sorry.
You didn't even try to put her out.
Sorry, I got
Suck,
too
O'Shea.
heated.
Gusten Uberstud, if you are out there, Heidi is calling you out. She's calling you less than the Uberman that you claim to be. Just saying.
You're no Ubermensch, mate.
No Ubermensch.
What does that mean?
Superman.
Oh. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So, August 20, while we're on the subject, August 25th, here at the Next Level Sports Complex, we have Next Level Orange County Championship Wrestling, another night of exciting wrestling action. And since Mikey won't be able to make it, I'd like to ask Danny's friend Azrael what he plans to do on August the 25th
You're gonna get
at
my
Next
house
Level.
burned down.
I'm
You're
sorry.
gonna get me shot. No, that's fine. That's fine. It's my first name. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna beat B.A. Marcus Frey. I'm gonna kick him in the face and beat him.
That's like the cleanest I've ever heard you talk smack about him.
Yes. I will be victorious,
That's like that.
as is my want,
You totally went PG,
and I will win
and you will win.
gloriously.
Brian
Triumphantly.
Chansey, thank you for buying 6 tickets for the Next Level.
Thank
OCW
you.
show.
Let's be fair. He bought 5 tickets. I gave him a free one. Come on, guys. Let's not be crazy now.
That's rather good, but are you okay, Azrael?
Yes. Are you?
Yes.
Good.
Okay, well, with that said, we seem to have hit a bit of a snag. Heidi, is there any other shows or appearances you're going to be making that you want to plug away here on our show?
Not quite yet. I've been doing some things in SenCal, and we have some interesting.
Do you have MPW this Friday?
We have MPW every Friday.
Are you wrestling this Friday?
I'm not quite sure. I like to live moment to moment. Sometimes you just gotta grab life by the balls and twist it. Yeah. Make life a crying wreck on the floor, and just go about it, mate. If it happens, then I'll go for it. If not, then I will just wait for the next moment.
Well, we on behalf of Orange County Championship Wrestling and the Royal Ramble, I would like to thank Heidi and the folks at MPW for allowing Heidi to come on down, and wish Paul and Clint and Hellkid up there a continued success, and we look forward to maybe bringing some of your guys down for our show.
Yes.
All right.
And the new round of beginner courses is going to be starting September 1st. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Just call 805-657-1775.
Once again, that's 805
1775. See? I wrote it down so I'm not a complete dullard.
You're already in unison. I love to see that. Heidi.
See? We're perfect for each other, mate. We're soulmates.
Soulmate. I see it. I see that. But he's spoken for, and I have to.
Okay, my hair's no longer on fire.
You scared the shit out of me.
I'll leave it to cool down, Mikey, my sweet.
Oh, good night, Heidi.
I wanted to get my Steve Carell, Bruce Almighty moment in.
All right. Peace be to you.
That's right, you heard her here, folks. Heidi will possibly be taking on Gusten Uberstud August 25th at the Next Level Sports Arena for OCCW. Tickets on sale right now are $15, but if you go there on the day of the event without a ticket, it will be a Jackson. And by Jackson, I mean $20. So, we should go on to the next topic of the last person that passed away, unfortunately.
Okay, this week we also lost a very special individual, the son of Jerry Lawler, also known as Brian Christopher. Brian Christopher Lawler was his name.
A.K.A. Grandmaster Sexay.
Grandmaster Sexay. Right? And not to make light of the situation, we thought we would bring someone in who actually knew him and had occasion to befriend him. So without any further ado, we'd like to bring in Othello, the Orange County Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. The big fellow, Othello.
Yo, the issue, man, is I'm the world champion, right? I'm the world champion, right?
You are the champ, yes.
Which means that I'm the centerpiece of what's going on here, right?
Well, there's a lot of other wrestlers in the company.
Because where I'm getting at is the champ supposed to be sitting in the middle. Because I'm the centerpiece. You supposed to be sitting over here.
Well, that's a nice romantic thought, but I own this show, I own that show, and I own the place where the show gets built. So you can sit wherever you want, just not where I'm sitting.
So that's how we treat the champ, okay? Haters come in many forms.
I'm not a hater. You've made me more money than these two put together.
Which means that I should be sitting in the middle.
All right, sit in the middle.
Yeah, move.
No, it's fair. No. Why don't you sit next to Azrael?
Yeah, that way I can bully him.
I don't know if that's the best.
Do you want to sit on the end? We want to play musical chairs here?
No.
How about Mikey just...
Othello and that one?
O'Shea,
sit by me. O'Shea, Mikey.
Why don't you just sit next to Azrael?
Exactly, because Azrael has a big mouth when I'm not around, so hey.
God damn it.
Forgive you.
Michael, moron.
Oath.
It's more like it. That's what I'm talking about.
Not to bring the mood down, but tell us a little bit about your that's fine. Your experiences with Brian Christopher and what you know about him.
Oh, well, a few years ago, I had the honor of actually working with him down at Knox Pro. Worked about 3 shows with him, and also had a chance to hang out with him outside the ring. And just a genuine, nice, down-to-earth guy, would give you, all the time in the world to help you out, break down your message. Just a fun guy, man. Just tons of laugh, love to joke around. Really had that sinister laugh that he always had. Just a jokester, man. Just full of energy. Man. we lost a good one, man. Sad day. Sad day in our community.
Sorry.
I'm not real clear on some of the details of his death. He was arrested for DUI, is that correct?
Yeah. It was, I think...
The dirt sheets mentioned that he tried to commit suicide, and as he tried to commit suicide, he failed, but he still died while they brought him to the hospital.
Oh, I see. So it was he lost consciousness or whatever.
Basically, in the attempt, he had already cut off oxygen to the brain, nice. So he was already,
See, out of all three of these guys that passed away, unfortunately, the only one I actually got to watch live was Grandmaster Sexay Brian Christopher, because I was late in the game when it came to the Attitude Era. I fell in love with wrestling of May of 2000, and I was watching Too Cool on a regular basis, and I was really sad to see this guy go. He was only 46 years old. Another 46. A lot of wrestlers die every single year, but a lot of wrestlers have been dying this year, especially two people in California that died under the age of 40.
Yeah.
And it's I feel my heart goes out to Jerry Lawler, because you'd never want to die. You never want your kid to die before you do.
That's just got to be heartbreaking for Jerry. And he's already been,
prayers for the Lawler family, man, for real.
Yeah. You have an interesting story about your time with Brian? Something that might kind of lift the heart a little bit?
Oh, man.
It was actually really cool. A couple years ago, they actually had a little Too Cool reunion at NXT.
Oh yeah.
They actually brought Too Cool back to do a couple of matches. So it's not like Grandmaster Sexay was banned from ever going back to WWE. He obviously still had a connection there, despite the fact that he got
his dad, right?
Yes, but it just sucks that there's not going to be a Too Cool Hall of Fame ceremony. You know what I mean? If any, it'll be Rikishi maybe, but it'll definitely be Sky Tuwadi up there. But it's sad that they're not going to be all three up there to get that ring.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. No, but I do have one funny story that comes to mind.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, I remember one show, man. This is when we was down in Knox Pro. And Shiloh, if you watch, you can contest to this. And Caesar Black, if you watch, you can contest to this. So before the show starts, this is before Brian even gets here. Rikishi is listen, you guys, Brian's coming down, he's gonna work. But let me tell you guys something. After the show, do not hang out with Brian. Do not hang out with him. I'm telling you guys that right now. Do not hang out with him. So we all right, cool. So he gets there. We do the show, whatever. And so for whatever reason, me and him just clicked instantly. So, he looks at me. He's like, big guy, I'm riding with you tonight, big guy. I'm like, all right, well, cool. We going to have a good time tonight. So I'm like, all right, cool. So thinking on my feet, I'm like, Caesar. Hey, Caesar Black, listen, I need you to roll with me and Brian tonight. So he's like, all right, cool, man. Yeah, cool. So,
I like the impersonation.
Yeah, you know how Caesar Black is, man. So we literally bar hopped from 11 o'clock till about 3 o'clock. And, I don't drink, you know what I mean? So Caesar Black and Brian, he can go all night. I'm talking about. So they get hammered. Brian is hammered. It's like no way cause we had a show the next day at 12 noon, which means our call time was at 9 in the morning. So Brian's plastered. Caesar, he's starting to come too. So I'm driving. I'm trying to find Brian's hotel room. He's passed out at this point. So it's man, so we trying to call Rikishi and his cousin to find out where his hotel room is. So we finally find his hotel room. So he's passed out. So, we get him up to his hotel room, put him in bed. And at this time, it's already 5 in the morning. So at the time, I lived way in Inglewood. We way in Sun Valley. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going home, man. So luckily, Caesar had a friend that stayed in the valley. So we finally get there. And it's already 6:30 in the morning.
Jesus.
So me and him are literally working off an hour of sleep. So we get up and me and him, we are done. We are dead tired. You know what I mean? Done. So we get to the venue. He beats us to the venue. No, seriously, he beats us to the venue.
Brian Christopher's there.
Yes, he's there before we are. And bright as a daisy. He cuts this crazy promo. I'm talking about awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like me and him look at each other like, man, what the?
Yeah. That's an interesting story. I like that.
You know, but that's how it was in that era, man. The attitude era. Those guys, man, they can party all night and get up the next morning and just go, you know?
Yeah, and win the war. you
Yeah.
know?
That's why when you talk about me and my love for video games and stuff like that, I'd rather be addicted to video games than be addicted to drinking and doing drugs every night.
Okay.
What I'm trying to get is I don't have to, like, you know, I'm not going to be up until 6 in the morning
Playing video games.
Playing video
Bullshit.
games.
Bullshit.
but
when that new Smash Brothers thing comes out, there's Mikey O'Shea. Right.
But I
right.
will-
I don't have a Switch.
But I will say this about Ryan. You know, the Grandmaster Sex Ed gimmick. The reason why it works so well is because, you know what, man. That's really him outside of the ring, man. Just a fun going guy, man.
Yeah.
That's how you make it.
Yeah.
That's how you get successful in wrestling. You just be you.
Like I'm telling you, man. Like I never
Love
seen
him or
that.
hate him. The reason why this guy is who he is today is because he's just being himself.
He's really a racist.
Yeah, he's really a moron. He's
And-
really
and
a
one
moron
big-
/ leprechaun.
One big shout out to Danny Devine. He's watching us right now, so we got Danny Devine watching us.
Hey,
How you doing, Danny Devine?
Former
Nice.
two-time MPW heavyweight champion watching us.
MPW?
Yeah,
Ah.
two-time MPW champion.
So you finally decided to watch the show. Danny, I want to invite you and his brother, right? Brandon, come down, check out OCCW. You know, I have nothing but respect for Paul and everything that's going up there. But call us.
Always welcome for more tag teams.
Yeah, definitely, especially now.
Hey, did you ever find your stuff?
10 Bears.
No. I have gone to Hot Topic
about
to
Tim Bears?
replenish my wrestling equipment because of you.
Because of me. What did
And
I
Steve
do?
Dodge has been fired
The
for
funny thing
allowing my
is-
equipment to be stolen.
Yeah, I never had the pleasure to watch him at a WWE show, but like I remember going to Knox Pro when they first opened up in 2009. The main event was actually him and Rikishi versus no, it wasn't Rikishi actually. It was him and Gangrel versus I think it was Rock of Love.
Yeah.
That was the main event. So it was actually a pleasure to get to know him like up front without any barricades or any like thousands of fans in the way. He was actually a really chill
Yeah,
dude.
no, he really
from where,
is,
from where I
yeah.
got to know him.
No, really, really nice guy. I can't say a bad thing about him. I don't think anybody in the business that's came across him say a bad thing about him. You know?
Yeah, that's really too bad. You know, I never got a chance to meet him. I mean, I knew a lot of those guys from UPW and such, and you know, I have heard nothing but good things about him.
Yeah.
And you know, it kills me. He's younger than I am, and I remember watching Scotty Too Hottie and Grandmaster Sexay and like the Worm,
Yeah,
WORM.
those are the times, man. Like
And
that.
when they won that tag team title, I was so happy because they were like the fun counterpart to
Yeah.
all the seriousness that Attitude Era
Man,
was
they
bringing
just-
about.
That time when they were having a little rivalry with DX,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
them and Rikishi were hotcakes.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun, and I'm sorry, King Lawler. I'm sorry for Brian's family, and God,
Rikishi, Scotty.
I know your friend is
Yeah.
gone, and you know,
And him and Rikishi were real close, man. You know what I mean? They were really close.
I mean, this had to hurt Scotty
and
because
too, Dave Gangrel too, man. You know, they were close too, man. You know what I mean? So I know he's doing this thing in Florida, and I just want to send my condolences out to him because I know he's hurting too. So
okay. So if we could shift gears a minute, so you know, I think we'll make sure to keep them in our thoughts and in our hearts and minds. As time goes by, we'll make it a point to mention these guys, you know, from time to time. Tell us about August 25th and what you got going on there, big guy.
oh, you mean me wrestling? You mean a Power Ranger that knows how to play the mariachi? Oh no,
Mariachi Loco will be
Yeah.
taking on Orange County Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Othello for the title.
you better pray to God he doesn't got a dragon sword,
Oh,
bro.
come on, man. Like I say, you keep lining them up and I keep knocking them down. The results are going to be the same. And still, OCCW World Champion Othello. Mariachi
promo.
Loco. He
There's
don't
your
stand a
promo.
chance, man. He don't stand a chance. He's going to show up and he's going to get my foot up his ass. That's what's going to happen.
Now I know your partner Marcus Frey's not here tonight, but
Oh,
you guys,
yeah. Marcus Frey. Hey, Leprechaun. Oh, yeah, I got a message. Hey. Marcus Frey says he can't wait to put his foot up your ass on the 25th. You stand zero chance either.
Marcus Frey puts things up a lot of men's asses.
Oh,
He was in the joint for quite a while.
Okay.
Marcus, you're a free man now. You don't have to do that no more. You can shower alone if you want.
And you don't have to keep having fun time with your sister either.
I have no sister.
Oh.
You have lots of sisters.
Oh, because y'all made it official. That's your girlfriend now,
Lots
huh?
of sisters.
Yeah, because y'all made it official. That's your girlfriend now, huh?
Let's not mention any names. Moving right along. Okay, what is your game plan there, big man?
Let's see. Walk down the aisle. Do my pose in front of the hurricane. Step over the top rope like I always do. Licking my opponent across from me. Beat the crap out of him. Pin his shoulders down. 1, 2, 3.
Mind blown.
There you go.
Boom.
That's
All right, that's pretty straightforward. Okay,
What do you think about that, Mike O'Shea?
That's the game plan.
Todd Fulkerson, we're glad to have you. Thanks for coming, Todd Fulkerson.
When are you going to be heavyweight champion,
We're
Mike
glad
O'Shea?
you stumbled across it too.
When I decide to retire, which isn't a long, which is a while from now.
Okay, all right. We get it. Your mind is blown.
He wants the fire.
Blown.
Danny, you've wrestled this man before. Oh, stop.
Where's the fire?
Danny,
Mind blown.
Hey, how come I don't get special effects like that?
I ran out of magic. I'm out of MP.
Azrael, tell us a little bit about. You've wrestled this man before. What does Mariachi Loco need to do to have any sort of success against this man?
Pin his shoulders to the mat, and then the referee count to 3, and then Mariachi would win.
Yeah, but you and I both know that's not gonna happen, right? Right? Right?
You know,
Keep your hands to yourself. We had a bit of an issue.
Exactly. That's what I like to hear.
Hands to yourself.
That's what I like to hear.
We will not have any more bullying going on my show.
I tried
Boy,
twice.
buddy, what are you talking about?
No bullying zone in this
I was
series.
I was bonding with my buddy over here, my little white friend.
Will you be my black friend?
Hell no, don't touch me.
And I
I know I
breathe.
still got one in me. Mind blown.
So for Mikey O'Shea, Othello, and Azrael, this is Jonathan Malice wishing you a happy and good evening. Thanking you all for joining us tonight on the Royal Ramble. Take us home, Joey.
Mind blown.
All right, folks. Once again, don't forget to catch us next week, Tuesday, 9 o'clock, at your next Royal Ramble. And don't forget about me tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, on Gym Crashers, the story of Joey the Bull
He's my
Hinojosa.
Good night, everyone.
I have a black friend. Wait, no.
Mind blown.
Yes, that is the
bet
promo
they
that will
are
take
playing,
you to the
Joe.
promised land.
Mind